On the coaching front, the Phoenix Suns have fired head coach Mike Budenholzer after one season, their third firing of head coach in 3 years now. Budenholzer failed to reach the playoffs or the play-in despite having the biggest payroll in league history, one that features Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal. The Suns finished with just 36 wins this season, well below their preseason win total at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Phoenix entered the year with 20-1 odds to win the title, the ninth shortest odds in the league, and shorter than the Cavs, the Rockets, the Lakers, the Warriors, the Grizz. All those teams in the playoffs or the play-in. Here with the latest is senior NBA insider Shams Charania. So the next big question, Shams, is one that we've been talking about. What does Kevin Durant's future look like with Phoenix?
Hey, now this is the start of significant changes coming to Phoenix. And from a roster perspective, that is expected to begin and center around Kevin Durant, their all-star future Hall of Famer. And back at the NBA trade deadline, there were multiple teams that pursued Durant in trades, and there were some teams where there were also mutual interests. Those teams included Houston, New York, San Antonio, as well as Miami. So expect those teams to be back in the picture for Kevin Durant. I would expect others to jump in the fray as well. It's going to really come down to which team believes they are a Kevin Durant away. So stay very close to the NBA playoffs and seeing who does well. But one difference from the trade deadline to now is I am told the Suns are expected to work with Durant as well as his business partner, Rich Kleiman, on finding his next trade home.
Yeah. So 1 more year, $54.7 million on that deal. Okay, we had another move today. I mean, these are coming fast and furious. It was a front office move. The Pelicans firing Executive Vice President David Griffin, who's been with them so long that he drafted Zion Williamson back in 2019. So where do things stand in New Orleans now?
As far as their head of basketball operations, I'm told Joe Dumars, the Hall of Famer, he is the leading candidate to become the lead basketball executive for the New Orleans Pelicans. He was the 2004 champion executive with the Detroit Pistons. We know he's got a long history as an executive in this league. He's also a Louisiana native, but his first task, anyone's first task as head basketball operations, will be the future of Zion Williamson. And where does Zion Williamson shape up over the long term in New Orleans? That's going to be the biggest task. He has played under 50% of possible games as a New Orleans Pelican. When he's on the court, he has been amazing. But can they get him to play for longer stretches of time? Where does his future lie? That will be part of the hard conversation for Joe Dumars in all likelihood.
Yeah, this is a team that won 21 games this season, second worst in franchise history. It will be fascinating to see what the Hall of Famer might be able to do there. Back in Louisiana. Shams, thank you. Now the Warriors will face the Grizzlies in the 7-8 play-in game tomorrow night. The winner taking on the Houston Rockets in the first round. A key question for this game in San Francisco tomorrow night, the status of Jimmy Butler. The Warriors star was limping visibly late in Sunday's overtime loss to the Clippers after a collision with Kawhi Leonard. Now, Steve Kerr did say after the game that Butler is fine, but he always says that. Senior NBA writer Brian Windhorst is with us. What can you tell us about Jimmy Butler with this awfully quick turnaround for this game tomorrow night?
Well, you know, Hannah, whenever you hear during the regular season, well, if this was a playoff game, the player could play, but otherwise he's sitting out. That's exactly what we have here with Jimmy Butler. If this was a regular season game tomorrow, Jimmy Butler would not be playing. But it is a deep contusion to his left knee, to the area of his left quad there. He is going to go through treatment, significant treatment yesterday, today, and tomorrow. They haven't put out their official injury report yet, but whatever they list him as, you can expect him to go. One of the reasons why the Warriors traded for him and rewarded him with a huge 2-year contract extension was for moments exactly like this. Jimmy Butler knows that. He knew it yesterday, which is why he played 48 minutes in that game. So we'll see tomorrow night how much he's got in that leg, but you're going to see him out on the court.
Yeah, they don't call him playoff Jimmy for nothing, do they? 23-7 with Jimmy Buckets in the lineup. So we have these 4 playoff series that are set. Which first-round matchup can you not wait to see?
This matchup between the Clippers and the Nuggets in the Western Conference, the 4 and the 5. I mean, if you want to call them 4 and 5, I guess we have to because the Nuggets are going to get home court advantage. But this is really going to be a skin-tight series from what I can see. The Clippers finished the season, Hannah, going 18-3 to win this seed from way back outside even the play-in at one point. Kawhi Leonard was absolutely brilliant coming down the stretch. Over his last 15 games, 55% from the floor, 50% from three-point range. What an impressive display the Clippers put on yesterday, winning that game in Golden State. James Harden looking like the James Harden when he won the MVP. The Nuggets, the big thing for them is going to be the health of Jamal Murray. He did return after missing several weeks with a hamstring injury for their finale in Houston yesterday. He is expected to be ready to go for Game 1 upcoming this weekend. But his effectiveness and Kawhi Leonard's health, because look, let's just be honest, he looks great. The last 2 years, he started playoff series and not been able to finish them due to injury. So those two players' health will be huge in what I think will be a fascinating series.
Yeah, and whether James Harden can take what he does in the regular season and translate that throughout the playoffs, that's always a question, too. It's so close. Denver currently just a slight favorite to win at -125. Thanks, Wendy. Let's get it back to time to head back over to my girl, Elle Duncan, getting you set for the WNBA draft. Elle?
Right, Hannah. So many interesting storylines, starting with the Washington Mystics. They start the Sydney Johnson era with a franchise most 3 first-round picks. According to our Michael Vopel's mock draft, the Mystics are projected to draft USC power forward Kiki Iriafen. Meanwhile, Seattle Storm projected to draft France's Dominique Malonga. Malonga played in the Olympics last summer while also playing in France's top professional women's league since she was just 15 years old. Still a teenager, 19 years old. And as for the #1 overall pick, well, let's be real. Could you say a lock for Paige Becker? She's the runaway favorite to go first after adding a national championship to her resume. She's getting ready to take the stage and be the franchise-changing player that the Wings need, and she'll actually join our WNBA Countdown show, which is coming up in about 1 hour from now, right here in front of the orange carpet as you take a live look here at New York as we come to you from the Shed at Hudson Yards. First time here. Venue is amazing. And of course, I got my family. We've got on
here.
We
a little bit of a new formation, but it's okay.
Yeah, normally Drea is in the middle, but she's got to bounce, so we're going to put her here on the end. Andrea Carter. We've got Chinea Gumake, who knows exactly what it's like to be at this point. She was drafted #1 overall in 2014. Let's start with who we believe is going to go first, Paige Beckers. How do you think her game specifically, Chinea, is going to translate to the W?
Paige Beckers has a perfect fit for that orange carpet, and she is going to be a perfect fit for potentially the Dallas Wings in about, 2 hours or so? The clock is on, and you might ask yourselves, why? It's because one word, efficiency. She is one of the most efficient guards the game has ever seen. She's a 6-foot sniper with elite basketball IQ, but also when I think about Paige, she's a people's champ. She has millions of followers on Instagram and on TikTok, and really to usher in and continue the steady growth of the W, Paige is perfect for that.
And the question is, how does Paige fit with the superstar that is in Dallas, in Arike Ogunbowale? Because we already know that Paige alone has what it takes to be a star in the WNBA. But if you're a Dallas Wings fan, you want to see that duo, and you want to see how those two players, Paige and Arike, elevate each other. Arike is a ball-dominant guard. She can put up high numbers. Listen to this. I don't want to get into in the weeds, but Arike led the league last season in field goal attempts unassisted. She's not going to have to do that anymore. Arike is going to have assists. She's going to have someone she can play off of. And if you're a Dallas Wings fan, that's exciting.
Okay, it was exciting to Drea that we started off talking about backcourts, but let's show you some love and talk about front courts, because a trendy pick right now to go #2 overall to Seattle is Dominique Malonga, which really opened up a space after Olivia Miles decided to stay in college. A lot of people don't know much about the French prospects, so give me like a comp here, Nay.
Look, they're going to learn today. They're going to learn today. The comp a lot of people are saying is Victor Wembanyama, because both French nationals, both tremendous with height, wingspan, upside with skill. But honestly, she reminds me a lot of my former teammate, Jonquel Jones, the reigning WNBA Finals MVP. Because if she's able to tap and reach the potential, again, 19 years old, as she grows in the league, I can see a similar trajectory of most improved player, 6th Woman of the Year, an MVP, because she has all the makings of that. This was at the age of 16. I will never forget when so many of my friends show me that clip. She's like, that's a 16-year-old. You see her dunking? Now she has evolved her game. She's got the handle. She's working on that face-up shot. She's got the mobility. Everyone will know in the matter of 3 weeks, 4 weeks when the season starts.
Sure.
Dominique Malunga for years to come.
Everybody knows that you're going to be on the actual draft broadcast. You know, they got to tap into that brain. Tell me a storyline, Dre, that you're intrigued by right now.
Well, there are so many when it comes to the individual players, right? But when we think about this draft, the biggest storyline to me is that we really don't know. Like, I have an idea, maybe 3 or 4, but truly 3 through 12 in the first round, it's take your pick. I've talked to some coaches and GMs, and they have said it really is backup plan for my backup plan for my backup plan, because they're not sure what teams are going to do. There are so many teams that have multiple needs. So what do these teams prioritize? And there are some players whose stock rose during the college season. Haley Van Lith at TCU and the numbers she put up. Georgia Amore and the way she competed in the SEC, putting up career highs. Now, you know I got to go back to the guards. Those are 2 guards I have my eye on. But Kiki Iriafen, the way she played at